Okay, I am about to tackle a small remodel of this whole half bath powder room in my house. The light fixture is going to change out. The mirror may or may not. The vanity is going to be raised. I'm going to make it more in line with the taller vanities today, and the whole sink tap is going to be replaced, and then the vanity is going to be painted. I'm going to remove this medicine cabinet altogether and patch the wall. And I may or may not end up putting shiplap on this one large wall. We'll see how this goes along. I may end up doing wallpaper instead. The floor will probably remain the same, at least for now. And that's the before. To remove this medicine cabinet, it's just a matter of taking out 2 screws on this side, that one, and this one, and this one. I'll do that, and then I'll show you what will be next. After removing the medicine cabinet, this is what I'm left with. So I'm going to cut back the drywall all around the edges to expose half of this wood, half of the width of this stud there at the bottom, almost have it at the bottom. The same on each side, and then I'll cut a piece of drywall the same thickness, and I'll put it in there and be able to screw the drywall into the existing wood framing. And then tape and spackle it, and you'll never know it was there. Okay, so now I used a utility knife and I cut back the drywall all around the opening, exposing the wood framing beneath it so that I can put a piece of drywall in there. I've already pre-cut the drywall. Here's the piece, and I'm going to fit that into the opening. Just like so. I need to put the phone down for a minute. And now it is in there. It's very snug. So now all I need to do is tape and spackle it, sand it, and then finish the walls however I decide to do that. I do have to put some either drywall nails or screws in before I tape and spackle and sand. I'm going to do that next. So I have used the fiber mesh tape to tape the joints where I put the drywall in where the medicine cabinet used to be. And then I'm going to start spackling over it. I'll do the 2 vertical sides first and let them dry, and then I'll do the horizontal top and bottom. Then I'll sand it all and do it again. And I use joint compound. This is what I use right here. Joint compound. It's much easier to work at with. I like it much better than using the spackle. Okay, so the spackling where the medicine cabinet is all done. I just put the final coat on. That's 3 coats. And I just need to sand it afterwards, and after it dries, and decide what I'm going to do with the walls. I got the sink out of here. That was a bit of an ordeal. It was glued down, and all this thick brown stuff you see is glue. I've already removed some. I have to scrape it all off. But I will do that, and then I'll start preparing the framing to make this a higher platform to put the new sink on. Okay, so now I have cut the pieces of wood, 1x6 wood, common wood for the sides and the back piece because they won't be visible. And the piece across the front is a 1x6 of oak. Don't forget, this entire cabinet front will be painted when this is done. So that raises the vanity to 36 inches, which is the height of newer bath vanities nowadays. And it's an inexpensive way of getting a new height vanity when you have one that's already in very good condition. I think moving right along, the vanity is built and secured. It has to be sanded and painted, and I'm going to do something across this top new piece of wood to integrate it with the rest of the vanity. So far I have spent about $120, including the sink and countertop, which I bought at Restore for $20, and the new faucet set today was about $105, I think it was. It was an open box, so they gave me 10% off, and it was $119. So, yeah, about $107. Okay, so yesterday I sanded down the front of the vanity, and that changed my mind about painting it. I think what I'm going to do is actually put a clear matte urethane finish on it. I like the natural wood. So I have to work on the drawer fronts and the doors, which are going to be a little bit more tedious because of the detail on them, but it can be done. Then I decided to do shiplap on the wall behind the sink. I started that last night, and I just took down an existing light fixture, only to find that there is no box in the wall. That wire is just coming through the wall. So, little problem there. I've got to cut open that drywall and go buy a junction box, I guess I call it, to mount the new light fixture to after I finish shiplap. So, actually it might make it easier because I can bring the box out flush with the front of the shiplap to be able to mount the light properly. More to come. Today, my hope is to get the electric box installed for the light fixture and finish the shiplap up this wall and put a fresh coat of paint on the ceiling and possibly a coat of primer on the walls, because the walls are going to get wallpaper, and I haven't chosen it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to choose something that's a white background with some kind of a black design on it. I'll know it when I see it. Okay, so when I took down the light fixture, I found that the wire was just in the wall freely like this. It was actually stapled to the stud there, but there's no box in the wall, and I need a box to mount the new light fixture to. So I made some markings on the wall. I marked the center line, the distance from the center line to the stud to the left there. And now I'm off to Home Depot or Lowe's to seek some help in the electric department on what kind of box I can get that I can secure to that stud and still have it centered off to 3.5 inches off from to the right of that stud. I'm sure they've got something I can do. Okay, so here's where I am at this point. I have painted, let me put the light on in here. The ceiling is freshly painted with a whiter white, and the shiplap is installed and painted with 2 coats of Benjamin Moore Chantilly lace. The vanity hasn't advanced too much at this point. I had to send back or take back the faucet. It had a scratch on it. It was an open box when I bought it, so I ordered a new one. I should have it in a few days. I installed the light this morning, which I had picked up at IKEA probably about a year ago in the clearance room for $40. And the mirror, not sure. I think I may leave it gold. I might possibly take it down and paint the frame black. That's where I am now. Today I'm going to look at wallpaper. This wall will be primed, not really a sloppy paint job. I didn't have to be careful because I'm going to prime the wall and then the walls are going to be wallpapered. So it's been about a week or so since I filmed anything. here's where I am. The faucet's installed, the shiplap is installed and painted, the lights installed, the mirrors installed. I chose a wallpaper which was no longer available in the United States. It had been discontinued, but luckily I found the last 2 remaining rolls, double rolls in the world, but they were in London. The company would not ship to the United States, but fortunately a friend of mine has a daughter who lives in London who agreed to ship them to me if I had them shipped to her. So I got word today, Saturday I think it's the 9th of July, that she has shipped the wallpaper to me. It should be here in about a week, inside of a week. So today I'm priming the walls to be ready for wallpapering when it gets here. And in order to do so, I am removing the toilet tank because I want the wallpaper to go all the way down the wall behind the toilet. Whoever lived here before did not paint behind the toilet, you can see. So in order to remove the toilet tank, you have to first shut off the water supply line at that valve and then disconnect the, where it connects to the bottom of the tank there, disconnect the water line. You flush the toilet after you turn off the water valve, the water supply line, and that will empty the toilet tank to about 3 or 4 inches of water in the bottom, and then I bailed out the rest and used a turkey baster to get most of the water out, and then sopped up the remaining with a sponge. Then you have to loosen these 2 bolts down at the bottom, which was a bit of an ordeal because there are nuts that are way up and under here, and they were really hard to get to, but the tank is loose. I'm going to remove it now and set it aside and start prepping these walls. Okay, so it is Saturday, July the 9th. I started this project June the 19th, and I've only been able to work on it when I've had some free time. So today I got a lot done. I got the walls all primed, 2 coats of Kills on the walls to cover this blue paint that was in here. Wallpaper's going over this, so I don't have to have a real perfect coverage on these walls. I had to remove the toilet tank, so that's going to stay off until the wallpaper comes and it's been installed. So all of the priming is done. This is where there used to be a medicine cabinet on this wall, so you can't really see any evidence of that anymore. And that is it for now. I'm going to start working on the doors and drawer fronts for this cabinet and get that finished and paint all the trim in here before the wallpaper gets installed next week. And at that point, I will almost be done. I can't wait. It's been a lot of hard work, and I can't wait to see the end result. Well, finally, the 3rd faucet. The first one was scratched. The second one, the cold water side wouldn't turn off. So this is the 3rd one, and it's fully installed and working beautifully. My son-in-law came over and helped me get the old drain flange out so I could put this one in that matches the faucet. That was an ordeal, but we got it done. Thank goodness for having his strength. And the drain is fully installed. I just finished that up. The water lines are hooked up, obviously. And everything's in working order with no leaks. Now I'm just waiting on wallpaper to finish this up. Well, the vanity is completely trimmed out and fully sanded, and I was planning to put a coat of clear satin urethane on it. I don't want to bring up any color. I like it the light natural oak color, but unfortunately when I put a coat of the clear satin urethane on the inside of the door, it brought up this orangey oak color, which I definitely don't want. So it looks like I will be painting this vanity rather than leaving it natural wood.